We're just two friends who love the movies, call each other every morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hey man, can't complain. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just waiting on the curbside for some groceries.
I like
Just
that. I like that. Getting fed. Let's talk
yeah,
movies.
yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Today we are discussing the best films of 2015 revisited.
That's right.
Revisited. This is a good idea, Mitch. The way it'll work, I guess I'll start it off. I'll just go off the bat, just go through my list, and then you'll go through your list, and we can just discuss it there. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Um, my honorable mentions were Animals, The Martian, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, Boy and the World, Youth. My number 10 film. All right, starting with the top
I
10.
wish I was looking at yours. Could you go back? Could you run back through those real quick and just the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
animals you mentioned the other day?
So Animals, The Martian, Me and
Okay.
Earl and the Dying Girl,
Okay, yeah.
Boy and the World,
Boy in the
Youth.
World. What's that?
It's an animated movie.
I can almost like bring this back into my brain. Okay, what was the last honorable mention?
Youth.
Youth. Now what's that one?
This one is with it's a Paolo Sorrentino, Michael Caine, Harvey Keitel.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember that one.
okay. All right. So starting with my top 10, at number 10 I have Brooklyn. At number 9 I have
Uh,
Love and Mercy. At
uh,
at number 8 I have 45 Years. At number 7 I have Star Wars: The Force Awakens. At number 6 I have Mad Max Fury Road. At number 5 I have Inside Out. At number 4 I have Spotlight. At number 3 I have When Marnie Was There. At number 2 I have Anomalisa. At number 1, my favorite movie of 2015 that I listed at that time was The Big Short.
dude,
All right,
big
Mitch.
good
So
movies.
go through your list, and then we'll discuss after.
Okay, okay. Honorable mentions. And look, back then I'm hoping I got all these years right, but I had Ex Machina, Mad Max Fury Road, Inside Out, rare animated movie for me, Sicario, The Hateful Eight. Good grief. Okay, top 10. Room, The Martian, The Revenant, Beasts of No Nation, The Big Short, Spotlight, The End of the Tour, Love and Mercy, Anomalisa, Steve Jobs.
Yep. Okay. All right. So interesting. I looking back at it, I think you have probably, I would say, a better. I don't want to. I don't know if I should say better list than I do now, looking back. But
I would
I,
say so.
I Sicario is a movie that would have been in. I don't know what I was thinking, dude. I don't know what I was thinking. It would have been in my top five. Just right off the bat, it would have been on my top five. If I remade my list, it would be my top five. Um, I'm looking at the list now.
Ask you this:
Animals.
which
Oh,
one of yours do you feel haven't really stood the test of time,
so I
if any?
mean, okay. Look, I I would have put Animals and The Martian in my top 10. They wouldn't be honorable mentions. Um, I I don't think I would have Brooklyn in there.
Oh man, I was regretting that I didn't have that one.
I
Uh,
I would have had it in my honorable mentions.
that one kind of
Um,
ruined me for every other Saoirse, every other Emery Cohen movie, because they were both so good in that. Great
yeah,
chemistry, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were very good. I would not. I would have Love and Mercy higher on my list.
Yeah, good call.
Um, 45 years at that time, it blew me away. And now, as someone who's married, I think this would have been even higher. I probably would have had it by number five.
Now, I did
Uh,
see 45 years, but I don't feel like the same about it all this time later, despite also being married. I liked the movie. That's Rampling, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and she's great, but I don't know. It's pretty forgettable to me.
No, for me, I
Wait a
love that
minute, wait a minute,
movie.
wait a minute, wait a minute. You know what? I never saw 45 years. I always, and this is gonna sound stupid, but I always get it mixed up with Amore. Uh, Amor, sorry.
Oh,
That's
the
Amor.
the the French film.
Amor, yes, yes, sorry, yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
why I always get those mixed up, but I
I
did. I
agree
did
with
not
you.
see 45 years.
I agree with you on that front. I think that movie Amor is overrated in my opinion. But 45 years probably would have been my number five. I had it at my number eight. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I don't think I would have had it in my top 10, but I for sure would have had it in my honorable mentions.
Mad
Inside Out.
respect.
Inside Out. I I think it would have gone down a bit, to be honest with you. But I think I still would have had it in my top 10. Spotlight, it would have still been in my top 10. When Marnie was there, that's a movie I loved at that time. It blew me away. But uh, that Anomalisa and The Big Short, I'll be honest with you, Mitch, I have remorse. I don't know if these movies would have ended
Wait,
up in my
Anomaly
top.
is a Big Short and what?
And when Marnie was there.
Okay, gotcha. That's the anime movie.
Yeah, so those three movies, I don't know if they would have been my top three. I think Big Short and Anna Melissa would have at least been in my like number 10 or number 9. Um, can you guess what movie I would have put as my number 1?
No, I cannot.
So the movie that I would have put as my number 1 if I had to choose today, it would be Mad Max Fury Road.
Okay, okay. Okay, interesting. See, that one I've basically cooled towards. I mean, that's an obviously I don't know, maybe it's just the constant
Hello.
hype about that movie.
Yeah, in the
Hello?
trunk. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sam had the barista put his coffee in the trunk this morning. Weird
Mm,
move.
no, I'm picking up groceries.
I know, I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I got Mad Max burnout, which I try to. I'm usually pretty good at avoiding like hype burnout. Or I like to think of myself that way, but in this case, maybe it gets to me some. Yeah, and one of the things too. See, I thought I was wondering if you're gonna pick something that wasn't even on your list, because one of the things that happens is you go on to different years and you watch years from previous years that you didn't catch that year, and you're like, oh shoot. But I don't think either of us have the bandwidth to try to call to mind all of the movies that we may have seen that year and say,
From
oh, I
that
might have
year.
had this on the list. I mean, that's impossible. But unless we did a lot of prep work, which with a movie called podcast, so prep is not exactly our shining area. Uh, well, that's cool, man. Mad Max is on my list too.
Yeah,
An honorable mention.
I think I've watched that movie more than any other movie on this list, and also and which pains me because Sicario wasn't on anywhere on my list, and that would have been, like I said, on my top five. I've watched that movie.
That's
Um,
Benicio was hitting it, dog. This year he didn't do nothing.
oh, I disagree, man. I thought he was really great.
I'm being sardonic, I guess, because he had a killer year with Phoenician Scheme and one
Oh,
battle.
okay, yeah. You're right. I thought it was a really really good year, man, for him.
Yeah.
So what on your list? What is your remorse, man?
Well, let's see. Remorse.
Thank you.
Um, I think I think I wouldn't have the Revenant so high, even if. I would have it on there. Um, Mad Max, yeah, I'm just not excited about right now. Um, I don't know. I think this list is pretty solid. I feel really confident about my top four: Steve Jobs, Anomalisa, Love and Mercy, End of the Tour. Although I think End of the Tour is probably in Love and Mercy are the two that have really stood out in
Stuck
my
with
mind
you.
on a subjective, personal level. Like those movies just really hit me pretty good. And
Yeah.
The Big Short, dude, is one that I rewatched a lot. Which I'm not a big rewatch movie guy, but I enjoyed that one every time I watched it. I love Christian Bale in that movie, especially. That was around the time where I was like, this guy's one of the greatest working actors because I just felt like he he brought, he was just kind of brought some. I don't know. In that role, he was odd and strange and great. And I love the
Yeah.
script. I wish Adam McKay had kept up with that. I actually liked Vice more than most people, and I think I even like Don't Look Up more than most people. But I got to admit that each one of those was worse than the last. The Big Short, I felt like he hit on something very unique. Could have been a very very fun style of storytelling to keep interacting with cultural moments and things like that. Um, So I guess a weird one, Beast of No Nation. That's kind of a weird one, but Idris Elba's performance lives in my head. That is the about as dark a movie as you can get.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you had that in your list, to be honest with you.
You know what's crazy about these movies? I remember where I watched all of them. Uh, it's crazy, and this was a cool year, dude. I watched most of these in theater. Ex Machina I watched on an airplane. How about that? Airplane movies seem to make my lists. Mad Max in theaters, Hateful Eight in theaters, Sicario in theaters, Inside Out in theaters with Lori. Woohoo! The Martian in theaters in Coleman, Alabama. Let's see, The
Oh
Revenant
yeah?
in theaters, The Big Short in
Wait,
theaters.
you watched The Martian in Coleman?
Yeah,
What were you doing over there?
my dad was living at a lake house up there shortly after he and my mom divorced, and I was going over there to visit him. But he wasn't home yet, and I couldn't get in his house, so I was like, I know a way to kill time. Spotlight I saw in theaters on the way to Alabama, in Chattanooga. End of the tour, I did not see in theaters. That was a red box. Love and Mercy. Um, I I don't remember. Oh, I saw that in theaters for sure, and then I rented it on Redbox to show Lori. Anomalisa, I saw in my car with a pair of airplane headphones on my cracked iPhone, baby. The only way to watch it. Steve Jobs, I watched in Trustful in the theater. Almost all of these in theater, dude. It's crazy. And it's Steve Jobs, I remember being so excited at the end. There's like a M83 song. No, it's not. There's a song that plays, We Grew Up at Midnight. I can't remember who it's by. And
Yeah.
I just got so excited that I just started running across the parking lot of that Regal Theater there in Trustful. I just started sprinting. Um, so good memories here.
Dude, so Steve Jobs, it, even today, it would still be your number one. You wouldn't have Love and Mercy or The End of the Tour.
I don't know. Like I said, these top four, yeah, tough for me. I think so,
Dude,
dude. There's something about Steve Jobs that just got me good. Um, and I don't like have any like feelings about him as a man, but the way that Sorkin did this script is like he took a man, a real life person, and he just weaved him into, your own brain. But actually, one time Haley Robb asked me the question if there was a movie, if I noticed movies having a bad influence on me, apropos of many of our conversations, and I
yeah.
mentioned Steve Jobs because I thought it gave me permission to have a big ego, and that everything would turn out in the end anyway.
Yeah, so and that's around that time, that's a very you were still in college, right? Uh
Yeah, I didn't need to see this movie,
it
but it also made me a Fassbender fan.
Yeah, I remember that time because you were walking around pretending like you were Fassbender as Steve Jobs.
Yeah, yeah, right. Very funny. Oh yeah, I got a black turtleneck. Yeah,
Dude,
dude, just some of those lines too in that movie that just kind of stay in my brain. Oh yeah, dude, and serious, I'm not even joking. It changed the ways that I open doors because there's one moment where he's like going through a door and he kind of like puts his, you can see it in the trailer. He puts one hand up like he's saying stop to a person beside him. There's nobody beside him, and then he just kind of pops the door open with his other hand, like crossing it. And I was
yeah.
like, that's a cool way to open doors. I should open them that way. But also, like, I'm really small and have very small limbs, and so I try to open doors that way. It just hurts my hand. Oh,
Dude, I'm just thinking back around that time. Gosh, man.
you
You know,
thought I
we
was insufferable, didn't you?
no, I remember you were you I wasn't joking when I said you walked around like you were Michael Fassbender as Steve Jobs.
Well, look, you know how I grew up, dude. You know how much of a weenie I was in high school and stuff. And so I figured if I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna start over, what I have to do is stick a, an inflator in my eardrum and just start pumping it so my
Yeah.
head is big to survive this social situation, to not just walk around like a fetus all the time.
Dude, since we're on the topic, do you remember how well, I was gonna ask you first. Were you ever scared whenever people from your old life or your real life, I guess, not college life, would come down and visit?
Well,
Because
yes, it was a very delicate process. It was
I
a very delicate process. You know how fine-tuned when you and Wes came up, Wes Caps for the first time, and I like had every single moment planned out to the T. Everybody you were gonna meet, where you were gonna meet them, how long I was gonna let you talk to them. It-
dude, I remember because people would come up to me and they would be like, "So tell us about Mitch. Like he's very mysterious." I'm like,
I told
"Mitch?"
nobody anything. My whole life was damage control. It was an insane way to live.
Dude, it was hilarious. I remember people would come up to me and I was so confused, dude. I'll be honest with you. I was so confused because I was like, "The heck? Why did she buy that?" Okay. Um, I was so confused because they're all approaching me and they're like, "Tell us about Mitch." I'm like, why don't you just ask him yourself?" And and then it was after a few hours, I was like, "Freaking Mitch! Like you're like, dude, that was some funny times, dude. That was some really funny times. I can't believe that you pulled it off for as long as you did."
Yeah, I guess pulled it off is a subjective term, but it was the time of my life.
No, dude, it was a great experience. I always remember the little concert at the gazebo.
Yeah, where
Um,
you gave a concert. What songs did you play, do you think?
oh, I can't even remember. I'll be honest, I can't. That was so long ago. And
Yeah, it
then,
was crazy the other day finding that mix CD with that song you did on it. I was like, this is the only place that this song exists in the world is
dude,
on this CD.
you're gonna have to burn that.
I
Like,
better, dude, before I like Chloe steps on it and it's just broken.
I know, and it's gone forever. I forgot about that. It was that the song that I played at y'all's wedding?
No, that was that song you made up off the top of your head in like 10 minutes in the coffee shop.
Oh yeah, the wedding song. I made up. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hey,
Yeah, because we were in the coffee shop getting ready, and I was like, "Hey, Sam, what are you doing?" You're like, "I'm writing the song that you said." Oh, that gives me a lot of comfort. And the song, people, folks, the song went on for like 10, for 10 minutes. I would give anything to have a recording of that. Oh,
dude, I'm surprised that Wesley or anyone didn't get it. But
maybe
hey,
somebody did, and it'll resurface years later, like like this other song did.
oh man, what is this? Dude, I'm just looking through all the grocery stuff and I'm just like what is I just do my job, dude. I just go and pick up the groceries. I'm not in I'm not in charge. I don't get the
Hey,
groceries.
did you get some $5 DVDs in there, dude?
Yes, I did, dude. Oh
It's
my
like,
gosh.
remember when we would go to Walmart and just rummage through the $5 bin?
Yes, man. Dude, speaking of $5 DVDs, do you have a couple minutes to discuss something that is not part of the best films of 2015?
Yeah.
Do you have time to discuss basically a rant?
I had a couple minutes for your rant, yeah.
Okay, so this weekend we went to a baby shower, right? So it was on
Okay.
Saturday. After the baby shower, we went over to one of the Vanessa's sister's houses.
Uh-huh.
And the sister's husband, he'll occasionally just put on some movies, right?
Nice.
That way for people who don't want to sit around chat. So of course he put on he. Let me correct myself. He rented two movies, right? He rented them, and I was gonna tell him, oh, you don't have to do that, but of course it's his choice. So he rented two movies. The first movie he rented was a new movie called Cold Storage
Oh yeah, Liam
with
Neeson.
Liam Neeson. Dude, okay, I don't know if David Kep is under contract to like he has to write uh like a certain amount of scripts a year. But yeah, this is a David Kep movie.
Well,
Where
that job is my dream.
he wrote it. It's based off his book. And it starts off promising. And it is a bit wacky. It's wacky, and maybe that was the point. It does have some fun moments, some ridiculous, violent, gory moments, but this movie is just not very good, Mitch. And I was like, well, this is the so far. I mean, along with Scream 7, this is probably one of the worst movies of the year,
Jeez.
which is surprising because of the fact that I just had two of his movies that he wrote on my
On your
top 10.
top 10.
So I was just like, okay, well, all right, well, that movie ended, and then so my I guess I'll call him my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law was like, okay, I'm gonna put on another movie. So he was looking through it, and I didn't want to put in my opinion because
Yeah.
it's not my
Well,
house.
sometimes that's fun too, just see what happens.
Yeah, so I just left it as is. So he ends up finding another movie, and so he puts the trailer on, right? And the trailer, I have to say, is a really really cool trailer. I was like, okay, this looks very thrilling, looks very epic. Um, and here I thought Cold Storage was going to be the worst movie that
Second
day.
worst.
No, Cold Storage. Cold Storage was a masterpiece compared to this movie, dude. This movie, all right, this is where I'm going to begin my rant. All right, this movie
I
is
allotted you 2 minutes for a rant. You've already talked three, and now you're just beginning it. Okay, go ahead, Sam. I'm
no,
curious.
that was the pre-rant. That was the pre-rant,
Okay.
dude. This movie is called World Breaker.
Worldbreaker?
World Breaker. Yeah.
Worldbreaker. I don't even think I've heard of that one.
Okay. It stars Mia Djokovic. Okay.
Okay.
Mia Djokovic.
And Dave Bautista?
No, no, no. Mia Djokovic and oh my gosh, what's the guy from Beauty and the Beast, the remake?
Dan
No, no,
Stevens?
no. The guy that plays the bad guy.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I never
Oh,
saw it.
damn it.
Oh, Luke
Luke
Evans?
Evans. Luke Evans. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It stars Mia Djokovic, Luke Evans, and this young actress. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it like it's kind of like in medieval times or something?
No, no, no. It's post-apocalyptic.
I saw this trailer.
It looks medieval, but it's post-apocalyptic. Okay,
I gotta
so
say, dude, that trailer does not look good.
no, no, it looked entertaining enough, right? Okay, look, 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 look. I was seriously debating suing the company for misleading and false advertisement. Because listen, Mitch, in the trailer, in the freaking trailer, it makes you think that this is going to be a big sci-fi They're fighting creatures. Mia Djokovic is gonna have a sword killing all these creatures. Do you want to
Uh-huh.
guess? Do you want to guess how long Mia Djokovic is in the movie?
Oh yeah, one of those. Okay, 5 minutes? I don't know.
Yeah, spot on. She's in
Yeah,
the movie
that's
for
hilarious.
she's in the movie for about 5 minutes. Okay, okay, and so in the whole movie, right? They 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 make it seem like it's action packed where they're fighting all these creatures, right? You want to take a wild guess how much runtime the creatures have in the
Five
movie?
minutes?
No, they have about a little more than Mia Djokovic. They have about like 10 minutes or so. Okay, another complaint. This movie is 90 minutes long, Mitch, and it feels like it's 3 hours in the worst way possible. I mean, also, also, look, the trailer, once again, the trailer makes it look like this is an action-packed sci-fi creature movie, right? And I understand if they didn't have the budget, which pretty makes me think that's the idea, right? But the movie really is about for some reason this infection only attacks it only turns men, okay? It
Okay.
only it only turns men. So therefore, in the beginning of the movie, one of the first battle scene, the first, honestly, it's probably the only battle scene you see, right? It's all women attacking these creatures, and then it ends after maybe a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Well, Luke Evans and his daughter, he decides with his wife, who is Mia Djokovic, who is the leader of the women's fighters
Suffrage movement.
suffrage movement. They Luke Evans decides to take their daughter away and like on this island, this secluded island.
Okay.
For the next hour and 10 minutes of this movie, Mitch, hour 15, it's just Luke Evans and his daughter, and he's teaching her how to fight. He's teaching her how to fight. He's telling her stories of the old world. Keep in mind, we don't see any of these stories in flashbacks. It's just them two. The whole movie is like that. There's a serious pacing issue. The whole movie feels like it's a slog because we're just with them two out in the woods where nothing really happens. Occasionally they'll train, right? They'll set up some landmines, right? It's That's where the hour and 10 minutes turns into 3 hours. Okay. Now look, like I said, the movie keeps on building up. Right, you're building up. I'm like, okay, I'm assuming they're building up to a final battle, right? And I should have listened to my instincts, Mitch, because the movie is rated R for some violent content. Keep in mind,
Uh-huh.
some, right? And I'm like, well, there's only been like two brief action scenes, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, I guess they're saving it all for the final battle, right?
Uh-huh.
It's building up. It's building up. The creatures are about to attack the girl, right? You see her. She's right at the beach shoreline, and then you see in the distance Mia Djokovic along with her army people. They're on boats racing to get to the shore. That way they can help her, right? And it's really
Uh-huh.
intense, right? They're shooting flares, right? Like, yeah, we're on our way. The boat is racing. Mia Djokovic is at the front, like George Washington of that picture, and she's like yelling, "Let's go, quicker, go!" And her daughter is on the shore, and the creatures are running at her, and she's getting ready, and she takes out her sword, right, and she has it like she's freaking King Arthur, and the creatures are getting closer, and the whole movie has been building up to this moment. All her training, everything that we've been witnessing, Mitch, everything has been building up to this one moment. And she grabs the sword with two hands, right? And I'm like, yes, all right, badass moment. Yes, it's been building up to this moment. And then she lifts her sword up and she yells at this scream. "Ah!" And you just hear the creatures and they're getting closer. Ah, she has to see. And the camera focuses on her, Mitch. And she lifts the sword up and she's still screaming. And then The movie ends.
Ah, that's so awesome, man.
The
That is
movie
epic.
ends.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. I love that, man. Did it have what? Did it have like a song play in the credits, like a moody kind of synth ballad,
No,
or was it like
it
just
was
some
like
score,
it
just some
was
canned score?
it was just like pitch black and then like this epic very cinematic, and it said directed by Brad Anderson.
Brad, Brad
And
strikes again.
my other brother-in-law were just looking at each other, and dude, we had a fun time during that movie mainly because we were just who we
Well,
know.
what you've just described is the quintessential $5 bin Walmart DVD, right? The
Exactly.
one that's in like that 20 pack of movies. Uh,
Exactly.
and yeah, dude, I can sympathize. One of the biggest offenders for me was a movie called Emperor that I got from Redbox, and on the front of it was Tommy Lee Jones. He was the entire cover of it, of the poster, and
Yeah.
he's had like a corncob pipe in his mouth. He was playing Douglas MacArthur, and I was like, oh, okay. Uh, and I turned it on, and like he was like in 2 minutes of the very beginning, and he was never seen again. And
Never.
it was
He's not even one scene.
I'm if I'd have to go back, but my memory is he was in a couple of minutes in the very very beginning, never seen again. The rest of the movie was Matthew Fox, the the most exciting person in alt universe Hollywood, where everybody else is a paperclip, and it's just, oh my goodness. I was like, am I even going to be able to finish this? But yeah, that's hilarious story, man. I'm glad you got to watch that.
Yeah, Mitch. The whole movie pretty much felt like a first act of a movie, and then me and my it's dude. I was laughing at myself because like as that scene is going on, it is epic, it is intense, right? They're building up to it, and me and my brother-in-law look at each other and we're like, yeah, this is it. This is. He even said, "This is what it's been building up to," and then for it to just end.
It's so funny, dude. Oh man, a great bonding moment. You
Dude,
kind of have to, in spite of yourself, be glad that movies like this exist.
oh yeah, I am, dude. I am, dude. Anyways, Mitch, I'll let you go, man. I gotta put up some groceries, but thank you for letting me talk about my rant and the best movies of 2015 revisited. Please
Enjoyed
stay
it.
tuned. Yeah, please stay tuned, folks, because we're gonna be doing 2016.
Yep.
All right, man. See ya.